The classroom buzzed with laughter, chatter, and the faint scratching of pens against paper. In the very back row, sat Maya, the quiet girl no one ever really noticed. She never raised her hand, never looked anyone in the eye, and always carried herself with a heavy silence. Her bag was neatly tucked under her chair, her notebooks stacked perfectly, as if she hoped order could shield her from chaos. But to Bullies, silence was like blood in the water. 3 of them, Jason, Kyle, and Mia, made it their mission to pick on Maya daily. Sometimes it was her old shoes. Sometimes it was her hand-me-down clothes. And sometimes, it was just because she didn't fight back. "Hey, mute girl," Jason sneered from across the aisle, flicking a balled-up piece of paper at her. It bounced off her desk and landed in her lap. She didn't move. She didn't look up. Kyle leaned forward. "Seriously, do you even have a voice? Or are you just gonna sit there like a freak?" The laughter spread through the classroom like wildfire. Even the students who weren't cruel enough to participate didn't bother to defend her. It was easier to laugh, easier to turn away. Maya's pen stilled against her paper. Her knuckles tightened ever so slightly. But still, she said nothing. Then Mia, smirking with venom, leaned over and whispered just loud enough for everyone to hear, "Bet she cries herself to sleep every night. Let's test it." Before Maya could react, Jason stood, circling to her desk like a predator closing in. The room grew tense with anticipation. The teacher had stepped out for a moment, leaving no authority in sight. Jason suddenly grabbed Maya by the throat, pressing her against the back of her chair. The room gasped in shock. Maya's eyes widened, but not with fear. For the first time, her silence cracked into something far more dangerous. Her hand darted up, fingers curling around Jason's wrist like steel. Her grip was firm, unshakable. Jason's smirk faltered. He tried to push harder, but Maya's eyes, dark, calm, and piercing, locked on his with a silent warning. And then, in a movement so fast most students didn't even register it, Maya twisted his wrist backward. Snap! The sound echoed through the classroom. Jason cried out in agony, stumbling back and clutching his arm. Kyle and Mia froze, their smug grins erased in an instant. The quiet girl they thought was weak had just broken their leader like a twig. For the first time, Maya spoke. Her voice was low, steady, and chilling. "Touch me again, and I'll make sure you never use your hands again." The room fell into dead silence. This was not the girl they thought they knew. Scene 2, 500 words, The Wrath of Silence. The classroom was paralyzed. Jason whimpered, clutching his bent wrist, while Maya's calm eyes scanned the room. For years, she had endured their cruelty in silence, but now the mask was gone. Kyle, trying to save face, stepped forward. You think you're tough just because you hurt him. You're still nothing." His voice shook, but pride wouldn't let him back down. Maya stood, slow and deliberate, her chair scraping against the floor like a warning bell. Her movements weren't sloppy or impulsive, they were precise, practiced. The kind of precision only someone with training possessed. Kyle lunged at her, fist raised. But Maya sidestepped with effortless grace. She caught his arm mid-swing, twisted it around, and with a sharp movement, bent it backward. A sickening crack filled the air as Kyle screamed, collapsing to the ground. The entire class flinched in unison. Mia, trembling, backed up toward the wall. Her bravado melted into terror. "Why, you're crazy. Stay away from me." Maya's steps were slow as she closed the distance. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't laughing. She wasn't even angry. She was calm, terrifyingly calm. Her voice sliced through the air. "You mocked me because I was quiet. You thought that made me weak. But quiet doesn't mean powerless." She stopped just inches from Mia, who was shaking uncontrollably. Maya didn't touch her. She didn't need to. The weight of her presence was enough. "You should be careful who you choose as your prey," Maya whispered, her words cutting sharper than any blade. Mia stumbled back, tripping over a desk as tears welled in her eyes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean." The teacher burst back into the room at that moment, eyes wide at the sight of Jason and Kyle writhing on the floor, the rest of the class frozen in stunned silence, and Maya standing tall for the first time. "What happened here?" the teacher demanded. No one spoke. No one dared. The silence in the room was different now, not mocking, but reverent. Everyone stared at Maya as if seeing her for the first time. Jason groaned, She broke my wrist. She's insane." But the classmates didn't nod in agreement. Instead, several of them looked at Jason with disgust. Deep down, they all knew he had crossed the line first. Maya sat back down slowly, picking up her pen as if nothing had happened. I warned you, she said softly, her voice firm enough for everyone to hear. And with that, the classroom hierarchy shattered forever. The quiet girl was no longer invisible. She was a storm no one dared to provoke. For the first time in her life, Maya felt truly seen.